rise and grind, an expensive cigar that's actually worth it. Let's have this conversation. And so welcome to the show. Without any further ado, we dive into it. This video, this one's for my friends. This one's for my friends who understand value. They understand when something is actually worth it. This video for entertainment, education, but of course we're gonna say something inspirational, encouraging, because that's what we're here to do. What are we talking about? We're talking about the Davidoff Nicaragua. And so I'll go ahead, get myself started. This cigar, when you think about Davidoff, you normally think about mild Connecticut's. And so that's the wheelhouse that they tend to operate in. This is normally Dominican Republic tobacco. But when they came up with this cigar, they decided to do something different. And so here's what they did that's quite interesting. So this is a Nicaraguan puro, so wrapper, binder, filler, but it's all done still in the Dominican Republic. And so they wanted to maintain, and so Davidoff, they're just known for their quality. They're known for their excellence. And so they imported all of the wrapper, the binder, the filler. They imported all the Nicaraguan tobacco all the way to their factory in the Dominican Republic because they wanted to maintain that quality, that excellence. And so this is a Nicaraguan puro, but it's put together still in the Dominican Republic. Now, one of my biggest beasts with Davidoff is the price that the cigars come at. They tend to be very expensive. And so I'm not the biggest fan of the Grand Cru, of the Signature. I didn't really like the late hour. And so I'm not the biggest fan. One of the most expensive cigars that I've ever smoked is I believe it's called the Oro Blanco. It was a $500 cigar. And so we're gonna have a conversation about value, about worth, as we talk about this Davidoff Nicaragua. I've eaten at certain restaurants where there is no price on the menu. I've shopped in some establishments where there aren't any price tags on the items. There are some spaces where we can find ourselves where the retailer, the producer, they don't communicate with price. Because what they're saying is that when you come into this place, you're coming with an expectation. You're coming with a belief, with a faith in us that we are going to wow you. You're dining at this restaurant, understanding that this restaurant has the finest chef in the world, understanding that we've gotten the Michelin ratings and we're this, we're that, we've been awarded. And so you coming here is an experience for you. And we're not even gonna bother putting a price tag on it. I was thinking the other day, have you ever realized you've never seen a Rolls-Royce commercial? Have you realized you've never seen a commercial for a Lamborghini? There are certain companies where they understand that we are the standard. We are the excellence. We don't have to advertise. We don't have to put a price tag on it. We don't have to have salespeople. We don't have to be pushing and marketing. My friends, as we talk about this Davidoff Nicaragua, there's a way that we can live our lives, creating a standard, defining ourselves, placing value on ourselves, understanding who we are. You see, you shouldn't have to push yourself and market yourself and sell yourself. I strive to be like Davidoff, where sure, yeah, my price tag is hefty. Sure, hey, if you want my services, if you want my products, it comes at a cost. But we gotta carry ourselves in such a way where it's understood that we are worth the experience. Davidoff is normally known for their Connecticut's, mild, Dominican Republic. But here they decided to do something different. And even though it's different, even as though it's a different wheelhouse, it's a stronger cigar, it's a whole different leaf, they still put the same hefty price tag. Because when you are confident in your standard, when you are confident in what you will deliver, you don't ever have to shortchange yourself. And so even though they're venturing and doing something new, producing this Nicaraguan puro, they didn't do it at a discount. They didn't discount their standard. They still priced it like they normally would, because what they understood is it's still a Davidoff. It may be different. We may be doing something that we haven't done before, but it's still us. And so we're still bringing that quality. We're still bringing that excellence. And as a result, you're going to still have that same experience. And therefore, it's going to cost you something. My friends, I can tell you even from personal experience, the way I live my life, carry myself, what I bring to the table in any space, be it a YouTube space, a corporate America space, any space I walk into is going to cost. And so I understand my own value. I understand what I bring to the table. I understand my standard of excellence. You see, there are some out there who they cheapen themselves. My friends, understand your value. Understand what it is that you bring to the table. And don't let anyone cheapen you. Don't let anyone try to undercut you. Don't let anybody try to get your services, get your products for less than what it should be. Understand your own value, your quality, your excellence, and do that in all regards. Personally, I can tell you that in the corporate world, I have myself valued and priced at a certain amount, and I won't let anybody or any situation, I will never sell myself short. Even in this YouTube space where I'm contacted by brands every single day, I will never undercut myself. Why? Because I understand my true value. I understand what I bring to the table. I understand what it is that I can deliver. I understand the quality and the excellence of my work. And so, now some will use terms like, oh, that's expensive. Oh, that's overpriced. Oh, when you understand your true value, you can price yourself at whatever you want to price yourself at. And so when we look at the Davidoffs, when we look at the Atabes, we look at the Opas, sure, I give them a hard time. But what I respect about them, I respect the fact that they respect themselves. I respect the fact that they believe so much in themselves that they price their products at what they do. And as I think on a larger scale, that's what Rolex does. They don't cheapen their products. That's what Rolls-Royce does. That's what all fine restaurants do. They don't worry about the market. They don't worry about what other people are doing. They don't worry about how other people are pretty much just doing it for free. They place value on who they are, and they charge accordingly. And so this Davidoff Nicaragua, excellent cigar. The Davidoff factory is always going to produce just a level of excellence. If you want a perfect cigar, if you want that cigar where you don't have to worry about relighting it, get you a Davidoff. Now, it usually costs a little bit, and usually the taste profile just isn't something for me. Again, they tend to focus in that mild space. But when they came out with this, a Davidoff quality, exceptionalism with Nicaraguan tobacco. And so you still get that smooth, you still get a slight creaminess, but you get that cinnamon, you get that espresso, you get that leather. Everything is just so smooth, so balanced. And so it's like this leathery, cinnamony, it's almost like having you some exotic frappuccino that's just so smooth and so perfectly blended to the point where you can't pick out the cream versus the cinnamon versus the whipped cream. It's all just done well. This is a cigar of great value. This is a cigar that I would say is actually worth it. And so as I enjoy this cigar, and of course you know that you didn't really come here to hear about a cigar. Sure, Davidoff, Nicaragua, good cigar. Davidoff made a stronger cigar. Didn't really like the late hour. Don't really like the signature and the Grand Cru, but this right here, this is something that I would buy. This is something that I would even venture out and get a box of these. This is something that, yes, despite the hefty price tag, I still make sure I always have some of these on hand. But the real message, my friends, is there's some things that's worth it and there's some people that's worth it. And so I encourage you, understand your worth. Just like companies like Davidoff, Rolex, Rolls-Royce, they don't give away the products for free. They don't sell their products at any discounts. They understand their worth and their value. And we're in a space and in a world where when we look at just all the different markets, everyone's trying to cheapen their price, undercutting themselves, ruin it for everybody else. But mainly I think when you do that, you really do a disservice to yourself. To my friends, to my risers and my grinders out there, always place value in yourself. Even though the world around you might be putting themselves on sale, giving themselves away for free, keep that value for who you are. Keep your price as it should be. If you are producing products, sell it at the price that you think your product is worth. Quit trying to put discounts on you and shortchanging yourself because you're worth more. Rolls-Royce doesn't put their products on sale. Why should you? To my friend, maybe you're out there in the job market trying to get a job and you're thinking, well, if I just accept a lower wage, a lower salary, I'll get the job. No, keep your value where you need to keep it. You see, once you start undercutting yourself, once you start selling yourself low, I believe that bit by bit, that chips away at you. It chips away at your excellence, your standard. I think deep down, it chips away at your very soul. And so, understand your worth. Understand what you bring to the table. And yes, charge folks accordingly. And so if you're that hairdresser, charge what you're supposed to charge. If you're that barber, charge what you're supposed to charge. If you got some new products, you got a book you just wrote, keep your prices where they should be. If you're a mechanic, keep your rates where it should be. Once you know that your product, your service, that what you bring is worth it, and you can charge what you should be charging. You see, that's why people pay what they pay for a Davidoff. That's why people pay what they pay to fly first class. That's why people pay what they pay to get them that brand new luxury car. Is it worth it? It's worth it to them. It's worth it to the person who pays for it. But deep down, you got to understand, what is your true value? What do you really bring to the table? And so just using this cigar as an example, Davidoff, Nicaragua, they were clear on what they brought to the table. And they charge accordingly. You can buy it, you don't buy it. But they're not going to cheapen themselves. And so that's what I bring to the table. That's who we are. That's what this channel is. We carry ourselves with a certain level of excellence, a certain quality. I'm not going to cheapen the product. I place great value in the work that we do and how we try to educate, encourage, and entertain. This is what we do. And if you find value in what we do, you don't have to pay anything. All you got to do is just hit the like button, subscribe, and join such a high value community. Look, this ain't the discount rack. We're not going to cheapen ourselves. sell ourselves at a discount. We value ourselves. And so if you want to join this high value society, hit the subscribe button. Check out my Patreon. Yeah. You know why it costs something? Because it's of great value. I understand the quality that we bring. And so we thank you for your time. Like, comment, subscribe. But most importantly, rise and grind.